Before we get going with the episode, I just want to tell you something that I'm very excited about. We have now been joined by someone I've been using for a long time, and I've kept them a secret to myself. But for my clients coming to Africa, I've been using Gracie Travel. Folks, if you are coming to Africa or anywhere in the world, in fact, but especially if you're traveling with guns, Gracie Travel are amazing. I've kept them to myself for a long time, but I'm putting it out there to you now. Enjoy the episodes. Hunting for monster crocodiles has always been one of my favorite safaris. This week, that's exactly what we'll be doing with father and son Mark and Ryan Chancellor and legendary professional hunters Peter Wood and Rob Ostindian, right here in Mozambique with Safari de Mozambique. Folks, here we go.
Swift Bullet Company presents This is Africa.
Yeah, people underestimate crocodiles. They are extremely intelligent. They have been around for 80 million years and haven't evolved. So, yeah, they're a machine. They're streamlined, they're incredible hunters, they're very smart. Their eyesight is incredible, their smell is great, and their hearing is not too shabby either. People think, well, it's like shooting a duck on a pond. That's not the case at all. Okay, there's obviously two shots you can take. One is what they call the end of the smile, which will break the spine. So the mistake people often make is they judge that as the end of the smile. They see the end of the teeth and they think that's the end of the smile. You've got to follow this up. It goes up, 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 and then drops down, 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 down. And then you'll see here clearly there's around almost like a scale like that. And that's your point of aim. Also, generally, with the jowls from his neck, that is where the jowls are. So, which is like a wrinkle, and you'll see that line. Brain shot, generally go for the highest point. We call this the ears or the horns. The highest point of the horns. Come down about 3 inches, and I generally go forward about an inch, inch and a half, just slightly in front. His brain is directly below you. Okay. That's his spinal column, that's where his brain is in there.
I think Africa, for all the people that have come to Africa and got the so-called Africa bug, they know what I'm talking about. So peaceful, so serene, but yet so wild, and you've just always got to be ready for something, some new adventure.
When we're hunting for big crocodile, obviously we'll do the channels and the islands. We will try and spot one from the boat, and that's obviously a good sign that there's a big one in the area. At this time of year, it is more difficult than earlier in the season, and the reason being, once the females lay their eggs, the males seem to disappear.
Looks like he's got a pretty long tail, but unfortunately we couldn't see his body, and he slid off through the reeds into a channel in the back.
Calling crocodiles is the mimicking of baby crocodiles. So when a baby crocodile hatches, he'll pop out of the egg and start his noise. And that will signal to the other eggs it's time to hatch. It also calls the mother. So the mother's there to protect and escort the babies to the water. Whereas the males will come in looking for a chance to feed on their babies. They will come in aggressively. You gotta be careful when hunting them in this way.
We got a phone call from the Panyami River, and we've been here a couple of times, a lot of crocodiles in here. But the guys phoned us, and the fishermen here told us there's a very big one. And these fishermen, they live amongst these crocs, and generally when they see a big one, they're on the ball.
Karumarin. But 2 months.
2 months ago. This guy was pulling in his nets, you know, making his living, and a crocodile jumped up and grabbed his arm and basically twisted it off, broke all the bones and everything, and he's had steel rods put in his forearm here to rebuild his arm. This happened about 2 months ago. With that luck, eh? Very, very lucky to be alive.
One thing you want to try and avoid doing is shooting a crocodile in the water. These prehistoric beasts, even with a well-placed brain shot, the nerves will kick them off. And if they're in the water, they can easily slide into deep water, making it tough to retrieve them. So we knew from the start that trying to convince these big male crocodiles to call them out onto the land for Mark to have a go with his double rifle was going to be very difficult, especially when these apex predators have phenomenal eyesight, incredible hearing, and even a better sense of smell.
Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow, ow. Ow, 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 ow. Crocs come up to us here, but I think he's seen us. So he's just lying there, just a couple feet in the water, waiting for us, just watching. I don't think he's gonna come out. Looks like a good croc. We might have to resort to the bait.
This is Africa is brought to you by African Sporting Creations.
The Houston Safari Club Foundation is hugely instrumental in conducting conservation across the globe. These guys are huge advocates for hunting, raising a lot of money. They educate a lot of people. They promote hunting to the up-and-coming youths, which is absolutely important for the preservation of hunting and conservation on this planet. And they are experts in conservation. So if you would like to contribute to conservation here in Africa or anywhere in the world, or just conservation in general, you can do so very simply by just joining the Houston Safari Club Foundation. Just by joining, you are directly contributing some money towards conservation in the world. So do it. Folks, back to the episodes.
This is Africa is brought to you by the Houston Safari Club Foundation.
So we've got the baboon, some guts, hippo guts. Building a bit of a blind here. We need to make some shade, and we're gonna see what happens. There's a lot of crocodiles. There's a little, 600-700 yards of water with no exit, and full of crocodiles. Hope we've got enough meat. So it's like 12 feet from the baboon to the water. But I've got a feeling there's gonna be no doubt here.
They're probably the hardest animal I've ever seen to judge, hands down. You don't know if it's a 12-footer, or I don't, if it's a 12-footer or 15-footer.
He's coming from the left. He's there behind those other ones again. He's the one in the water. You can see his row of teeth. He's quite a bit bigger than the others. Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, check how much bigger he is than the other oaks. He's on the baboon now. Just gone back in. That's him.
Oh, it's so hard. It's much harder than I thought.
Okay, he's coming. Not that one, the one. He's behind that one. That's him with grass on his head. See, he's got grass on his head. No, he's on the bank. He's got grass on his eye. He's got the baboon, shaking it, back in. Just gone back in, again, damn.
He was very crafty. He would come up and he always stayed on the far side away from us. I don't know if he knew we were there or not, but he came up in that part of the water.
That's him with his head up. He's coming. Let him come out, just on the edge of the water. Okay, he's moving up, he's coming up. There he comes. There he comes. Always on the other side. Always on the other side. He's on the baboon. He's on the bait now. Back in.
He came up and snatched a piece really quickly, did a 180 and went back in the water. And that happened 6 times.
Okay, here he comes. That's him. Walking up, walking up, walking up, walking up, walking up. Yeah, he's at the back, the black one. He's there behind those other ones again. Okay, moving, moving, moving. Need those other ones to get out the way, man.
And he just barely raised his head up just enough for me to get a shot. I really felt like his only shot he was going to give me, so.
Okay, there's one head in the way. He's always at the back, man. Bloody thing. You can just see the top of his eye. Yeah. Reload behind the shoulder, behind the leg. Behind the... My friend, very nicely done. Wow. Put it there, buddy. Very good shooting.
Thank you.
Well done.
Patience is tough.
Patience is key. Patience is key. Wow. End of the smile. Is that where you drilled it? Yeah.
He was clever.
Yeah. Always behind the other ones.
And not only that, but he'd come up and get a bite and gone.
Yeah.
Those others just lay up there.
Yeah. He'd come, grab a chunk and run.
Yeah.
He was the big dog there. I mean, when he walked in, everyone just lay. And that last time he came up and that other croc just turned his head away from him like that. That's being submissive.
No eye
Yeah,
contact.
he's the Mac Daddy there.
Yeah. He's big enough for me.
This is Africa is brought to you by Swift Bullet Company. This is Africa is brought to you by Pulsar.
I think it's a very underestimated trophy. It's nice to get really a pretty nice one, so very blessed to do that. Again, I'd do it again, and that's not, I wouldn't say that about too many animals, but I love dangerous game hunting.
So folks, as you can see, this is an absolute monster of a crocodile. Such prehistoric animals and really difficult to judge. So Pete, tell us about how you chose this particular croc.
Well, you know, we looked at a lot of crocs, Mark? We had a lot of fun calling crocs. He's still alive. I'm out of here. No, we had a lot of fun, we got charged a few times. We've looked at crocs all week long. couple of the local fishermen called us in and they said, no boss, there's a big one here. Fantastic shooting again. You really shot so well this trip.
The least I can do.
Beautiful.
You guys get him in place. I could only see the top half of his head now. His smile was only about that far above the croc on this side of him. So that was really, I think, the only shot we're going to get. He always came on the back side of the bait.
Reload.
Yeah, well done, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations. What a
Well
good
done.
croc hunt.
Well done. And thanks to all the guys. Thanks very much. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey! Woody, hey! Right, we're going.
Mark was fortunate enough to shoot his crocodile yesterday, very nice crocodile. And we are using the carcass for bait. We're going to put some pegs in the ground and tie the croc to him and then build a bit of a blind and get in a blind and wait and see what comes in. Just with the smell of this carcass this morning, we've already got a bunch of crocs hovering around the boat. It should be a good day.
Yeah, so we've got a blind set up here for this croc that Rob was just talking about. Probably we're gonna hang the bait here, probably be within 15 yards, 10, 15 yards of the bait. So we're gonna get a close encounter today.
We did see some crocs, but nowhere near as many as yesterday. And the big one that we spotted yesterday, he had a particular mark on him and he didn't pitch today. So he's obviously got a full belly and he's lying on the island somewhere here, sunning himself. So we've decided to call it a day in the blind, and we are going to go and cruise amongst the islands and see if we can find either him or another big crocodile.
This is Africa is brought to you by Right On Optics.
I hunt for escape.
I hunt for conservation.
I hunt for tradition.
I hunt for empowerment.
I hunt for the challenge.
I hunt for the adventure.
And I hunt
For
me.
Seven to 10 days floating down the Zambezi River. If you don't know about the River God, check it out. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. In fact, I do it every year because I'm hooked, basically, and I love fishing. These guys are bucket list material. You've got a private chef, you've got a private guide, walks in the wilderness of the famous Mauna Pools National Park. If you're looking for a tiger fishing experience, this is the one. Check them out, there's the details. These guys are bucket list material.
This is Africa is brought to you by Swift Bullet Company.
There's a dead elephant or dead hippo or something. That's so they're all covered in mud.
Coming along the river really slowly, and came around a corner, and there was just a heap of crocs. And then we came a little closer and got downwind and caught the smell, and we found a dead hippo that had recently just died. So we're gonna set up a quick blind and I think get here tomorrow morning. Just drifting down the river here and just looking at a beautiful sunset on our second to last evening of hunting. We cutting away the bait we had set up because we stumbled upon a natural dead hippo. And just crocodiles were just piling out. So we think all of them, or not all of them, but a lot of them from that area are over there. So we're gonna set up there in the morning, but we don't want them feeding on this bait here. So we're gonna haul this one back to camp and then hopefully get them all back over there. I don't think they're going far, and then we'll soak up this sunset on the way home.
Right, this is last morning today. We found a dead hippo on the islands yesterday that was surrounded by crocodiles, so we're heading back up there to see what we can find. Yeah, hopefully we should have some luck today.
What's funny is I never really lost hope. You know, I think, a lot of people would kind of like, hey, this ain't gonna happen, just gonna have to look for the next time. But I knew Rob was determined. I knew just being around him these last 14 days, that's the type of guy he has. He doesn't just have one plan, he has plan B and C, if that doesn't work. And so I never really lost faith or lost hope in it. I kind of expected it would probably come down to the last minute.
See his back, straight away from us. Yeah, he's eating now, he's biting. You see him, Andy? In the middle, facing us. Got a white mark on his back.
It's a case of waiting for the right shot. It's not always advisable to shoot them in the water. Obviously, if it's shallow, you've got a better opportunity, but otherwise you've got to wait for them to come out onto the bank.
He's the one with the scars on the right side of his mouth, and he's got a scar on the end of his nose. There, he's still left of the pig, under the water. Yeah, he's eating now, he's biting. That one, there you go. No, that's a risky shot. Just below the eye.
Whack him again. Yes, good shot.
No, he's dead.
No, but he was cruising.
Yeah. But he's got a big hole in his brain.
Okay, go. You clean, Rob. You clear.
Yeah. Definite brain shot, blood pouring out like that. Anyway, he started twitching, the current was starting to take him. I just ran in there and grabbed him quickly. Right, now we can go skiing.
It's hard to stay that patient that long and see that many heads, and Rob you see the same one. That's the difficult part, seeing the same one you guys see. So hardest thing is just staying patient and hopefully delivering the shot.
Very nice crocodile, definitely over 13 and a half. Nice fat guy, but yeah, awesome hunt. We probably had 20 crocs on the bait.
The most challenging part of it was just identifying it and being able to get in the shot. Like Rob said, it's there's a little bank here and it's water, so they would grab a bite to eat and then kind of lay their heads back down. So it's just a lot of patiently waiting. Appreciate you, Rob, and your whole team of guys. Like you said, it's the last day, and no way to end it than in the hunt with a beautiful crocodile.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Rob.
Good shooting.
Thank you.
What a wonderful safari with a lovely bunch of people. Folks, if you're looking for your next trip to Africa, get hold of me through my website, www.tia5.com, and I'll point you in the right direction. Folks, see you next time right here on This is Africa.
Next time on This is Africa, Andy investigates a crocodile attack on a young boy, and a hunter hits a streak of misfortune on Lake Kariba, Zimbabwe.